Hey y'all, how are you doing today? I'm down here at Subaru getting my almost 30,000 mile car maintenance. I'm hoping that traffic going back to Stewart is not bad because it'll be like 5 o'clock when I head back, but we'll see. All right, so I wanted to talk to you about something and maybe you can relate. Do you ever get to the end of your day after dinner and the munchies hit and you're like want to eat everything, totally ravenous? If you've been following me for a while, you have heard me talk about breaking the habit of late night eating, and let me tell you, that's always a work in progress, but the growth on that has been tremendous. And I was thinking about this. I was talking with my mom recently. We found all of these like journal entries and artwork from my childhood. And I was talking to her about how I used to get anxiety before bed as a kid. I'd come out, to her and my dad would still be up in the living room, and I'd be like hysterically crying, I can't fall asleep, I'm gonna be late to school tomorrow. And I would come out there and I'd say, oh my gosh, I'm so worried that we're all gonna get eaten by bears. Well, guess what? I grew up in the Midwest, in the middle of Illinois, and as far as I know, we don't even freaking have bears there, so that's anxiety for you. I laugh because there's humor in it, but also like I was freaking just throwing a fit, like, and I kind of still do that to some degree sometimes at night. And so I wanted to talk about that with you today and see if you can relate to either dealing with anxiety, late night munchies, and what to do about it, what's helpful. I'd love to hear from you what you find helpful, and I want to share with you what I have found to be super tremendous. And while I say that this has been super tremendous, it doesn't mean that this is not something that my brain still tries to pull me into. Hence the inspiration for this video. My brain was pulling me into this last night, into wanting to feud before bed. And when I wake up in the morning, almost 99% of the time, when I have like late night anxiety, when I wake up in the morning, especially if I cried before bed, I feel totally fine, and my brain feels calm and just relaxed and steady. And the thing that was causing me anxiety not that many hours ago is completely gone. I'm not even worried about it. So I find that really interesting. So one of the things I think is so important for us to ongoingly remind ourselves of is that we're not our thoughts, that they're just thoughts. And I know that sounds probably just so simple, but like how often do we get carried away by what's going on in our mind and we take it like it's a fact? I'm trying to adjust this. No, the lighting here is not, that's better. Is that better? I think that's better. We take what's going on in our brain like it's the fact, like it's the news, and we can get carried away, and sometimes it causes even emotional responses or causes urges and actions and cravings that maybe aren't in alignment with what we really want for ourselves. So I think it's so important to remember these are just thoughts. These too shall pass. The reminder, the teaching of impermanence, that every single thing is impermanent, this strong emotion, this strong urge to eat cookies before bed when I've had a full dinner, this strong urge to say the thing that I'm just burning inside to get off my chest, is just an urge, and it's just a thought, and also just an emotion. And now I also want to say that even though they are just thoughts, they are just emotions, they are just urges, it is so important to bring curiosity to this. And this is where I see mindfulness be such a tremendous practice. It's been life-changing for me to recognize with compassion and with curiosity and creating that space, that buffer of not just reacting, right? Not just going for it because I have the urge to have something to eat right now, or not just lashing out because I have those emotions. But will we be perfect? We will not. and that's where self-compassion is so important. And I think self-compassion, if you're not familiar with it, people underestimate it. Self-compassion is a superpower, y'all. It truly is. And I'm going to tell you why. It deepens our relationships with ourselves, with other people. Self-compassion actually makes us more productive. It makes us perform better. It decreases feelings of anxiety. It improves our outlook on life. It decreases symptoms of depression. There's studies, which I love. There's science on this, on self-compassion. People who served in Afghanistan, brought them back. The placebo group struggling with PTSD, struggling with addiction. The group that joined a self-compassion practice actually had less PTSD symptoms and also had less addiction symptoms from this practice of self-compassion. It's that powerful. Moms who has a child with autism, regardless of the severity of the symptoms or the child's behavior or what the child was going through, the moms who had a self-compassion practice felt like they were better mothers. They had deeper satisfaction in life. They felt better equipped and able to handle and navigate the challenges and situations that they had with their children. So it's such a powerful practice, and I think it's a practice to always come home to, right? Checking in with ourselves, especially when we're feeling overwhelmed, especially when we're feeling irritable or anxious or stuck in a craving or just like this urge for more or wanting to totally avoid or get out of here and shut down. These are huge opportunities for us to come back to ourselves with that same loving kindness that we might give somebody we absolutely adore, to bring that to ourselves and really get in there with ourselves. Like, am I believing everything I think? Is there another possibility here? And I think one of the most important questions asked is, what do I really need right now? And if you're somebody who's used to doing all the time, you're used to taking care of others all the time, getting things done, as far as like a total doer, I can be disconnected from my emotions. So this practice of dropping into like, what do I really need, has been life changing. And what is going on with me emotionally. And I see this shift all the time for clients, especially the ones that I work with who are very self-critical. When they start to embrace this, let me bring some playfulness towards myself. Let me bring the same like loving care towards myself I give to others. Let's give the same self-consideration to myself that I give to others. And also like, let me advocate and motivate myself if I need that to support myself, to move through whatever I'm passing through. It's totally life-changing. So I'd love to hear from you. What supports you when you're going through late night cravings, munchies? Also, side note, I want to say some other things that are so important on that. First, making sure you're eating throughout the day. If you're malnourished or under fueling throughout the day, it's pretty inevitable that at night you're going to be hungry. Plus, you have less self-control, less willpower. If you've had stress all day long, it's like you just need some relief, right? Like you've been contained all day long and you need something to help you feel better. So how do we support ourselves with that? We make sure we're fueling throughout the day. Make sure each meal has at least 30 grams of protein with it. Avoid snacking in between meals. Make sure you have a fiber with your meals. Make sure you have vegetables. Ideally, we're starting to eat more colors of the rainbow throughout the day. We're staying hydrated. So that's on like a physical nutrition standpoint. And then taking these micro pauses, right? The days can be so busy. I know you have a lot that you may be doing, or there's a lot on your mind. Taking time to seriously smell the roses, but seriously shut your computer down, take some deep breaths, listen to a song you like, move your body, go for a walk, get outside, whatever that is for you. Super important to have these micro breaks throughout your day to support your nervous system so that you don't feel like you're just on E at the end of the day. And making sure, if you think at your dinner, because I know this because you guys remember, I used to eat nonstop after I'd eat dinner, and I don't anymore. I would hold in the back of my mind, well, I'm not going to eat too much dinner because I'm going to have snacks later. So make sure you get a really nourishing dinner. And if you are going to snack after dinner, which I will do, I usually allow myself 2 days a week, or try to keep that balance. Like, it doesn't have to be a friggin' feast for all, right? So decide ahead of time what you're gonna have for your snack, and that's it. And then know that like these urges pass, these cravings pass. And the same thing goes with if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling like you want to feud late in the evening, know that those urges pass too. And that, again, that self-compassion practice of like, what is the most loving way to navigate this right now? So the most loving way to navigate situations, right, is to process and support ourselves through those things in a time where we have capacity to do so. We can't solve the problem with the same mind that created it, and so remembering that. So a lot of times it's not to analyze or to figure it out, especially in the evenings, but it's to have these rituals that really support you. All right, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.